welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be doing Life of Pi chapter 34, 35 and 36. In other words, I will conclude part 1 of Pi. I'm excited because we can get into the nitty-gritty. Chapter 34, so Father said, we'll sail like Columbus. Pi said he was hoping to find India. So this is obviously Pi is being very sarcastic, right? And this is a historical joke. So I tried to explain this to my life science learners, and it went over their heads. And then I tried to explain this to my history learners, and a few were like, So one or two boys in particular, they understood what Pi was saying here. So when Father said, we'll sail like Columbus, Pi mentioned he was hoping to find India. So obviously you need to know at least something about Christopher Columbus. And Christopher Columbus was a Spanish sailor, okay, trying to explore the world, hoping to find India. In fact, he went to America. People believe he discovered America under the impression that this was India. Okay, that is why America is not really mentioned in any historical or not biblical or religious text, because it was the last continent to be found. So people believe he was hoping to find India, obviously, because of India's abundance of spices. So Pi says he was hoping to find India. What he is saying indirectly is that we are discontent with going to Canada. We want to stay in India, as Columbus was looking for India. So I know some of you might be like, what is talking about? It's fine. Okay, I mentioned that, they decided, or Pi's father decided that they are going to sell the animals to the Americans because the Americans offered more, and they will get, and the dollar is involved, and they're going to use the profit to start a new life in Canada. The problem with that is they did not really be prepared for this, because the money was not enough, okay, based on the Canadian standard of living. It's very high. So it took over a year to plan this. So they had to document everything. Okay, they call the paperwork a colossal of work. And the colossal of paperwork is referring to all the documents they had to, fill out in order to move the animals to the different zoos in America. They had to prepare the health certificates, the import permits, the export permits, the transport. It was a tedious process. So you need to read chapter 34, where he's giving us many examples of how tedious it was to move the animals to the Americans. He also mentioned that 2 animals were being shipped to the Canada Zoo. 2 animals were being shipped to the Canada Zoo. He's referring obviously to himself and Ravi. And the reason why he's calling himself and Ravi animals is because they don't want to go. Canada is absolutely foreign to what they know. They don't have cricket. It is extremely cold, and it is foreign to their culture as well. Okay, yeah, chapter 35. So on June 21st, 1977, they immigrated to Canada. via the Chimsum. Guys, this name, Chimsum, this is the name of the ship, the cargo ship. Chimsum, Japanese, Chimsum. Pies, obviously, he said goodbye to his friends. He created Mamaji, he created Mr. Kumar, and he was very sad about this. Pi's mother also felt a great deal of sadness, and it is mentioned that mother questioned whether they have cigarettes in Canada. And this is problematic because they don't smoke. So I'm thinking, why would mother inquire whether they sell tobacco when mother is not smoking? What mother is trying to do, and some of you might argue that mother is feeling nervous. More than that, mother is questioning, do they have the following in Canada? Why are we moving there when it is totally foreign to what we know? They don't have tobacco. They do have, but not this particular brand. They do have a pen, but not this particular one. They do have a cup, but not this particular cup that we have here. Do you understand? It is totally foreign to what we know. And that's why she's asking the question about the cigarettes. Pai goes on to say, and I love this because this line you can approach and you can implement in your life as well. Things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. Things did not turn out the way they were supposed to. And he mentions this in chapter 35. What he's doing here is a foreshadow. He's giving us an inclination, an idea to what to come. Things do not always work out. Things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. So obviously something happened, and by now I think we know what happened to his family. Okay, chapter 36, we have our intermittent fictional narrator, and he is dumbfounded, taken aback when he discovers that not only is Pai married to a pharmacist known as Meena Patel, but Pai is a father as well. Adult Pai is a father of two beautiful children, a girl and a boy. And he is taken aback. Really didn't know that, Pai is a father. In other words, in spite of Pai, experiencing trauma, he is still able to start his own family. Despite losing his family, he's able to start his own family. He's married, girl and a boy. We also have a dog and a cat as well. And for me, the cat is more symbolic because the cat is orange. And I want you to think why. Why orange in particular? And why a cat? You need to tell me. Some might argue that, the cat is a constant reminder to Pai about his ordeal. Some of you might say it's a coping mechanism to help Pai deal with his trauma, given that Richard Parker left him. Some of you might say that the cat is a sign of gratitude towards Richard Parker for saving his life. And all of you are absolutely correct. I agree with all of you. So my question is, do you think the story has a happy ending? And before you answer, you need to think about your answer very carefully. If you say yes, you will say it's happy because Pai survived. He's married, He was able to start a life for his own in spite of losing his family. He studied, he's content with his life, he's living in Canada, etc. If you say no, it does not have a happy ending, you can say he lost his family, the Pondicherry Zoo no longer exists. Richard Parker left him without saying goodbye. So think about what you can write about. Okay, so you have a dichotomy here. Does the story have a happy ending? Yes, no. You need to be able to provide sound reasons why you say so. And please do not ask for my opinion, because I will not give it to you at this stage. Okay, so this is chapter 36, part 1. Let's do part 2. In chapter 36, again we have our intermittent fictional narrator, and he is absolutely dumbfounded and taken aback when he discovers that not only is Pi married, but Pi is also a father. And not only is Pi married, he's also a father. So remember, he's married to Mina Patel, a pharmacist, but he's also a father of 2 children, a girl and a boy. And the author is absolutely taken aback and dumbfounded to discover this. He might question, you have experienced a traumatic ordeal or event, yet you're able to start your own family. You lost your family, but you're able to start your own family. You were able to study. You were able to rebuild your life in spite of the traumatic experience that you are accounting for. So does the story have a happy or a sad ending? Think about that question. Okay? More importantly, he discovers that not only is Pi married, not only is Pi a father, but we have the appearance of a dog and a cat. The cat is very symbolic because, number one, the cat is orange. The cat is orange. Okay? So you might question, so why do you think, the adult Pi has a cat? You might question that. And I might argue, you might agree, that it could be a coping mechanism to help Pi deal with his trauma, given that Richard Parker left him unceremoniously without saying goodbye. It could be that the cat is a constant reminder of his ordeal, and therefore providing Pi with a sense of gratitude that he survived. It could be that the appearance of the cat, given that it is orange, is symbolic of hope, survival, strength, and resilience. And if you write all of these things, you will definitely get marks. So the cat, yes, it is a pet, but it is very symbolic, given its color, orange, the color of strength, the color of resilience, the color of survival, the color of hope. Okay? And now it is a cat. So it is a coping mechanism to help Pi deal with his trauma. And it is a constant reminder. And the cat is acting as a beacon of hope and giving Pi a sense of gratitude as well. So does the story have a happy ending? And grade 12, you need to think about this question deeply. If you say yes sir, happy ending, you will say the following: he's able to start his own family in spite of losing his own. He studied, married, 2 children, a dog, a cat. Okay? He's able to rebuild his life. He's able to take ownership of his life. In spite of adversity, he rebuilt his life. He started a family. He is married. 2 children. You can say that. No problem. If you say no, it does not have a happy ending. You need to make reference to that he lost his family. Number one, he experienced the death of the zebra. He experienced the death of orange juice. He experienced the death of Richard Parker. He experienced 227 days with Richard Parker on a lifeboat. He was dehydrated, starvation. He experienced the death of a blind Frenchman. He experienced the acid of the algae island. He experienced Richard Parker leaving him without saying goodbye. So if you say no, you need to argue the idea of trauma. For example, he is still wearing a Parker jacket, chapter 2, indicating trauma. His cupboards, they are fully packed of food. Trauma. Okay? You need to make reference to this if you say no or if you say yes. Does the story have a happy ending? I don't know. I leave the ball in your court. There we go. Chapter 1 to chapter 36. Complete. Life of Pi. Please like, subscribe, and comment as well. Cheers.